Stack up on your munchies and coffee. We're rolling out a compilation marathon that's worth every popcorn kernel. Let's get it on. Sometimes you hunt bears, and sometimes bears hunt you. This man was either incredibly lucky, or he's holding the heaviest umbrella in the world. Due to his training and precious timing, this ice climber did not fall to an untimely death. This bowler's just showing off at this point. Proof that working in the pits doesn't make you any less of a sportsman.
It's acrobatic right here. That's what you think these guys that work in the pits are not athletes?
This is not what you want to see when you're out for a relaxing boat ride.
Oh my God, are we gonna take it over?
Luckily, his reflexes were even quicker than his bike. This guy is so impressed with his own catch that he assumes he must be, Spider-Man? This dad was unwise enough to say, "You can keep what you catch." No! This guy's attempt to push over a brick wall went horribly wrong. This is why you don't tailgate closely behind trucks. In case you're wondering, the Australian driving test does not have a section on how to avoid being decapitated by a low-flying plane. We're not sure where this was filmed, but the concept of health and safety clearly doesn't exist there. Most near-death experiences usually involve someone walking peacefully towards a bright light, not almost being skewered by a metal pole. This parking job is just about as close as his blood pressure can handle. These guys combine their love of darts with never losing their keys again.
That is crazy!
And speaking of quick reflexes, here's when a cake in the face goes wrong. Yes, it's our old friend, the emergency brake. Or lack of it. Here's an example of your guardian angel showing up at the very last minute.
Oh, shit!
Demolish the water tank, not yourself. Well, in fairness, that bottle clearly doesn't want to be opened. There's nothing more badass than wakeboarding from one boat and linking up with a different one on the other side of a drain pipe. When a foul ball went off into the stands, it was caught by none other than the ground commentator.
I make the catch on the foul ball. I am very proud of myself.
This guy has way too much time on his feet. If it wasn't for this guy's quick reflexes, his friend would have gone the same way as his bike. This relation was as close to ending as that door was to that post.
Baby, you were this close to being single!
This excavator forgot that he was on the bridge that he was supposed to be demolishing. When all those times doing donuts in empty parking lots pays off. This teacher decided to prove to 40 students that bulls only attack if attacked, and this is the astonishing result. An amazing example of how gentle a bear can be, although Akimbo still wouldn't recommend sitting down next to one. When you have a day job, but you dream of soccer glory. This guy almost became the railway version of roadkill. But amazingly, he survived without a scratch. The driver of this rented Lambo just came inches away from not getting his deposit back. This dog wanted to play fetch with an actual dolphin. He's just lucky the dolphin was in a good mood. After this epic paper plane shot, it's a miracle the hit player didn't take a dive. If you're gonna do this on a regular basis, then we here at Akimbo would recommend investing in a much faster car. When people talk about a racing driver being on fire, they're usually referring to a winning streak, not this. How do you deal with an annoying snake? The same way you deal with an annoying human. The kid in red must have arms like vices to be able to hold on after that wipeout. Rather than falling, this girl was lucky to get stuck instead. This birthday cake reveal very nearly turned into a tragedy. Hey! And now here's some water-based road rage. Sea rage? When an F1 race looks more like Mario Kart. You know when you hate your job so much that you look for ways to get fired? Well, that's what this vending machine was doing by giving away free snacks. What you're about to witness is the Bruce Lee of Jenga. Here's one guy getting lucky. Then another guy getting lucky. And then another guy getting lucky. This mini golf course is designed to make you feel better about your golfing ability. When this light aircraft lost engine power mid-flight, the experienced instructor took control for a heavy glide landing. Any landing where you walk away is a good one. This kid pulled off a skill shot of a lifetime to walk away with a Nintendo Switch. This is a city's way of telling you to lose a few pounds. Whatever just happened, it definitely hurt.
Oh, what on
When go-karting almost turns into an 8-wheel tragedy. What do you do if you've got a 3-pin, 2-lane split? When bad weather hit, one man ran to his car to park it under cover. Looks like he made it just in time. This tree branch almost took out a man walking underneath, missing him by just 2 seconds. Let's give this guy the benefit of the doubt and say that he meant to do it this way. It's not often you see a hole-in-one, and even less often you see one backwards. It's lucky that this complete lack of footballing skill was caught on camera. When you're doing things like this, it's always better to lose your skateboard than your life. Yeah. This guy must be part human, part frog. Who needs stairs when you can pole jump from the second story? This group of friends doesn't need a ladder to pick fruit, they just need someone light enough to throw. From ski jump to half-mile rail slide, this snowboarding pro makes complex tricks look like a piece of cake. This clip gives new meaning to the word luck, as this driver misses him by inches.
Oh!
You think this was luck or crazy snow driving skills? Let us know in the comments.
Oh! No, no, no!
If this woman's phone had been on selfie mode, this clip would have been a lot different. Call it skill, call it luck, but this dog nails a hole-in-one. When this diver was asked if he could find an iPhone someone had lost in the water, the last thing he expected was to find it still working.
I got it! And I got it for that dude. Oh, it still works!
And now some dramatic rescue footage. But how do you rescue a baby from the back of a truck stuck in floodwater? Well, with a bag, of course.
If this is the $1, you would have made a great deal.
When you could have won $1 but walk away with $675,000? Yeah, that's quite lucky. This perfect circle deserves a round of applause. Controlled demolitions are supposed to be controlled. This is a disaster. Throwing rocks at glaciers is a surefire way to win a Darwin Award. This guy barely escaped with his life. When you almost land on the wrong runway and the wrong way round. Even a steam train runs fast enough to turn you into mush. Close call, guys. Imagine going for a morning walk just as a building collapses right behind you. This waiter has his smoke bubble aim just perfect. Talk about stopping your semi-trailer just in time. Given the amount of time it takes for us to hear that tree hit the floor, this guy is lucky he has a reliable safety harness. This guy decided to use his head, but in entirely the wrong way. Jackass, the under 12s version. When you have fun and then escape death, all within 30 seconds.
Get out of there!
Everyone's got a routine for taking out the garbage. This is ridiculous. While filming a thunderstorm in the distance, this man was incredibly lucky to have missed a lightning bolt that struck the ground just a few meters from where he was standing. It takes me forever to thread the eye of a needle. This guy can do it using heavy excavation machinery. When chopping down a dead tree, a handful of spectators nearly became part of the show. This zebra realized the error of its ways in about 1.5 microseconds. This was either a very close call or a very bad work-based relationship. On a conservation mission, one man had a close encounter of the great white shark kind.
Whoa! Holy crap! Dove right out of the water!
Any closer and this guy would have needed a new paint job. If you hear something moving around in your ceiling, it's sometimes preferable to find a rat up there. Some people are so good at football that having eyes is optional. It's not often you get to combine the two skills of ball tossing and drowning. This woman's forgotten that only ghosts can walk through solid trucks. The funny thing about going diving with man-eating sharks is that they might want to eat you. This is a really original way of arriving to work. Sometimes your guardian angel is at the right place at the right time. If you end up playing this guy in a game of Jenga, it's best you quit while you're ahead. To pull off complex shots in pool, you gotta use your head.
2, 1.
This guy's precision with a frisbee is second to none.
Oh my God, I aced it!
A harmless prank to kick out the chair from underneath this girl took a surprising turn when only one leg went flying and she didn't. This paraglider could only watch and pray as a low-flying plane came dangerously close to his winch. When your friend saves your life, but you really wish he'd saved your hat. Luckily, there was a fence there, and the cameraman had a change of underwear. Skill, luck, or perfect timing? You decide. Feeding time at the Serpentarium is risky business. This handler is lucky to walk away. A home run and a broken car window? Now that's either really lucky or unlucky, depending on who you are. When you narrowly avoid being roadkill. By the way this guy reacts to his discovery, we think he'll be taking an early retirement. This guy's got the reflexes of a cat, which makes sense because they clearly both love fish. This looks like the most well-planned accident that's ever occurred. If you make yourself look bigger, then there's a good chance a bear will leave you alone, but you'll still need a fresh pair of underpants afterwards. This chick is just lucky she failed her backflip on soft sand. When these guys capsized their boat, they were able to FaceTime the Coast Guard for rescue.
Just the two of you? Yeah. You guys good? Okay. Good.
When you're diving, it's always important to stay calm. Well, unless that happens. This Lamborghini almost sent this guy to motorcycle heaven, and this woman wasn't shy about letting him know her thoughts on the matter.
What the was that?
I'm so
if
sorry.
you had told him, I would have kicked your ass.
When you're driving a rental and didn't pay the extra insurance. This trainee pilot was forced to make an emergency landing on a highway. This guy was enjoying a nice leisurely ride through the woods when he almost drove headfirst into an abandoned mine shaft. The luckiness of your AirPod getting stuck in a drain officially cancels out the unluckiness of it falling down the drain. This is why you should never stake out at a leopard's house. These people have just found the 21st century equivalent of a pirate's treasure.
Be careful!
A lost shipping container full of iPhones. And here's a scene from a new documentary, When Idiots Meet Buffaloes. Amazingly, he was fine in the end.
Oh no. Oh God. Oh God, no, no.
Skydivers usually only have to worry about hitting the ground, not the plane they just jumped out of. When bears aren't raiding picnic baskets, they're just out there looking for high fives. When you have a lot of money and too much time on your hands, you can practice this shot. During an Israeli airstrike on Gaza, these kids were lucky enough to have moved away from the wrong place at the right time. In a parallel universe, this motorcyclist wasn't so lucky and now has to eat all his food through a straw. Technically, this guy just scored 2 strikes with 1 bowl. When this elevator wouldn't stop at the right floor, one lady decided at the last minute to jump for it. 1 second later, and this kid would have been part of a 3-course meal at the bottom of the river. If this bus hadn't skidded in quite this same way, then the results could have been very different. If you narrowly avoid breaking every bone in your body, then you're allowed to do a cool walk-off. When the thought of the pain you've narrowly avoided is worse than the actual pain. You should always look left and right before crossing the street. In case of cars, motorcycles, buses, or elephants. At this height, it's just lucky this girl hasn't fallen. This girl planned ahead of time to not get cake face planted. It's easy to be brave when your crocodile only has 3 legs. When you narrowly avoid becoming roadkill.
Oh my god! What the hell?
I told you!
Everyone needs a friend who will catch them when they fall. Of all the places to fall, this kid chose well. When driving on a foggy country road, be careful of helicopters. Yes, this is a soldier just casually walking through a minefield and coming out absolutely fine. How? Well, this is a Russian invention called a Terminator suit. Some people are just naturally talented at falling. When you think you're tricking an alligator, but the joke's on you. We're gonna go ahead and say this was more luck than skillful driving. This guy had a lucky escape. He wasn't wearing a hard hat, but that probably wouldn't have helped him much anyway. It always pays to use high-quality gym equipment. She's just lucky she got out of the way in time. Unloading bags of rice one by one is exhausting, but triggering an avalanche can be dangerous. Who needs stairs when you can parkour like a superhero? Another couple of inches and this truck driver wouldn't have been able to complete his journey without getting some oars out. When your guardian angel is in control of somebody's GPS. This woman was clearly lucky enough to be born with her own force field. When a metal rod pierced his car, this guy was lucky to walk away without a scratch. These Portuguese recortadores spend their lives trolling bulls. Snowmobiling across the mountains, this guy parked next to a very dangerous secret. This trucker was driving down an icy road when he saw 3 other rigs sliding around on the ice. Was this luck or some serious driving skills?
Me, dude. Jesus Christ.
Could there be anything worse than diving in raw sewage? Yes, diving in slurry. When this man fell during a climb in the Colorado mountains, teams from the National Guard and Mountain Rescue came to his aid ASAP. This guy was lucky to survive, but how do you even do this in the first place? One of those rare times when your miraculous ability to walk on water comes in handy. Trash doesn't stand a chance when this teacher's in class.
And over there. 1, 2, 3.
One guy's afternoon was interrupted by a hungry alligator that only just missed taking a bite. This paddleboarder was stuck in the middle of a fight between a tiger shark and a sea turtle before the shark picked a new target. This clip should be used in the dictionary under the word almost. This is the racing world's equivalent of going the wrong way down a one-way street.
Do you mind? Well, tucking in on a side that they would like to use, to be honest, that is silly, and he knows it.
That minivan driver must have done something to really upset the gods. This driver almost collected a new type of roadkill. Some people are just born without fear. And here's a 1 in a million billion shot. If you come across an angry elephant in the wild, then a motorcycle is not the best vehicle to be on. Luckily, this truck driver was around to help out. Not what most people mean when they talk about raising the roof. More accidental basketball skill here, but you can bet that's not what he said. Because this trick shot is on camera, nobody can deny it happened, and nobody can get the guy who made it to shut up about it. When this Good Samaritan spotted the driver of this car having a seizure, he wasted no time in helping them avoid a catastrophe. When one wrong move can spell disaster, this mini rally driver has skills we can only dream of. This guy was taking a leisurely stroll down to the car park when everything except for the stairs he was on collapsed around him. This kid couldn't have timed things any better if he was able to stop time. There are two lucky people here. The cyclist for not dying, and the guy who cut down the tree for not going to jail for life. When you're so lucky that the shark suddenly sees something tastier behind you. A small layer of water makes this skimboarder's tricks seem like he's surfing. This gazelle luckily made it out of the clutches of a crocodile. Yes, happy birthday to that chair. We think this is probably more skill than luck. Either that or this guy really wanted to win the teddy bear you see at the end. Another example of using your head. Literally. Ah, these must be those domino trees we've heard so much about. Two words you never want to hear together are ricochet and axe. You know what we were saying earlier about looking left and right? Well, yeah, that. This guy was seconds away from being hammerhead lunch when the shark suddenly changed his mind. This is one of those skills you simply need to have, especially if you're on the run in an action movie.
That was a luckiest game.
You may want to watch this through your fingers. Some people will do anything not to get their shoes wet. Someone told this guy to throw a keg party, and he only partially understood the assignment.
Yes.
This surfer was only a few feet away from a shark before catching a wave.
Oh my God.
One of the only times you'll ever hear Santa use profanity. So here's why they never use humans for this job. Luckily, there were no kids in that play area at the time. Brace yourself for the coolest way to walk away from a stunt ever. Basketball players seem to have more than their fair share of luck, don't they? Not only did this kid's paper plane make it onto the football pitch, but he also scored a goal. When you're so cool that the mountain can't hold itself together anymore. Someone needs to offer this dog a football contract. And this is why women live longer than men.
Honey, you're about ready to go off.
Anyone that works with literal dinosaurs is clinically insane. Narrowly avoiding a shark is just another day at the office for these guys. When you're just having a normal day at work, and then you pull a massive amethyst cluster out of the earth. For some people, their luck is even greater than their stupidity. This is a perfect definition of the word almost.
My goodness, Pierre. You can't get involved?
This guy seems pretty relieved when he makes this jump. Wouldn't it have been easier to not do it? This bird was lucky enough to find a place to shelter, and a guy by the door who likes birds. There's one thing that some people always seem to forget about trains. They're slightly fast. For sharks, divers are just like a convenient buffet. This TV presenter pointed a nail gun at her own face and didn't even realize.
Nah!
Just go. Whereabouts is the gun? Whereabouts is the gun?
If it wasn't for fast reaction times, this scooter driver would be toast. Sometimes it helps to be able to jump like a video game character. At first, this kid seems like the responsible one. At first. School bus drivers aren't contractually obligated to save lives. This one did. From the makers of Angry Birds, the new mobile game phenomenon, Angry Crocodile versus Terrified Impala.
Yes.
When this skater pulled off an amazing trick, he was lucky to survive the consequences. It's not every day you get capsized by a giant freaking whale. Luckily, no one was hurt. This is footage of a random explosion in downtown LA. Nobody knows what caused it. When your ladder says nope.
Yo, my baby crash.
And here's another legend from the world of competitive baby catching. 1 inch closer to that concrete, this guy would have never emerged from that water. This birthday girl certainly doesn't feel lucky after this treatment from her friends. It looks like this guy has a drinking problem. This guy is just living out his superhero origin story. Luck or skill? Either way, here's the world's strangest wheelie. If you're a diver and you see a Goliath grouper heading for you, then you head upwards. Is it just me, or is everyone on the road in a hurry these days? This camera crew captured the moment a woman checked her $2 million winning lottery ticket.
To what?
$2 million.
Are you kidding me? You're kidding me. Is this real?
I can put it in the receipt.
Are you serious?
What? Are you kidding? What are you?
When a local man won the lotto twice within a few minutes at the very same store, that store suddenly became the go-to place for everyone to buy their lotto tickets.
I won $1,000 one time on a crossword puzzle.
The store also sold a $25,000 scratcher last month and a $30,000 ticket last year.
This car was in the wrong place at the wrong time, but luckily, the light was the right color. If you're unlucky enough to be this close to a tornado forming, then you at least can get some good footage. And after drifting out to sea, this 11-year-old boy was rescued by the Coast Guard. Lightning-fast reflexes with a knife and a beer drinker? That's a big red flag. It's an absolute miracle the guy in the purple shirt still has his fingers. Not many people are lucky enough to have an encounter with a creature like this. Luck or skill? Or has he sold his soul to the mini golf devil? When even the ball isn't sure if it's going to score.
Nicely done. Oh!
When you're good at your job, but you also hate your job. These scooter kids are getting dangerous. I guess that's one way to impress your 12-year-old crush. They don't call this guy the Snake Whisperer for nothing. This diver almost came face to face with some propeller blades. Real-life Satoshi's castle is harder than it looks. That guy on the floor had some real balls, and luckily still does. This guy won $273 million on a lottery ticket, and then left that lottery ticket in the convenience store. If it wasn't for an incredibly honest cashier, this could have been the worst day of his life.
His tickets were here on the counter, so I put them for safekeeping under our register.
There's not many people that are honest like that.
I think we can all agree that this move's rightful place is in a Marvel movie. Yes, those were the luckiest people caught on camera, and we're the luckiest channel on YouTube to have subscribers like you. What, you haven't subscribed yet? Why not? Do it now and join the Akimbo family.